7:01. We're late. No, hey Scott, what you got there? You got a cool sketchbook,
I got,
huh?
I got a I got a new sketchbook. So first off, I want to apologize to everybody. For some reason, we have not been able to get connected last couple of weeks, and it's mainly my invite email just didn't show up a lot of times,
Yeah.
and on my phone, and I don't know what the problem was. Uh, Last week I couldn't record because I had a Christmas function, and I'll have one next Thursday too, by the way. So I
Okay.
won't be able to record next Thursday.
Oh, that's all right. Getting around Christmas, everything's shutting down, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Hey, did you go see Godzilla today?
I did not. No,
Hmm. Rats.
I had that on my list to do, but I didn't. Did you?
Mm.
Okay.
I had to work, dude.
Okay.
I've been so busy. Okay, so you haven't seen it because you're not on Facebook, but I did my church has a children's musical, Christmas musical this weekend, and so I've been working on sets. And
Hmm.
last two nights, not last two nights, Monday, Tuesday, I spent past midnight building this sign. It's a spoof on Waffle House.
Uh-huh.
It's called the 24-hour Falafel House.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and it's anyway. So I cut it out of I cut the pieces out of styrofoam and glued them or painted them and glued them together and lettered. I mean, it looks really cool, but God, it about killed me. And I was like, why do I volunteer for stuff like this? But I'm not working on my comic book right now because Dan is writing chapter 4, and so I have to keep myself busy. Now, I was off work the Monday after Thanksgiving, and I went by a place called Porches School Supply. Have you been there,
Yes.
Ellis?
Oh,
Okay, I
yeah. I've
went.
been there about 3 times with you.
Okay, I was thinking that we went there. Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
did. We did because you bought some blank notebook pages. I went
Uh,
by
yeah.
there, or not notebook, your little index cards.
Yes. And I got some Copic,
Oh,
more
yeah.
Copic color and stuff like that. Copic.
Hmm.
I don't know how you pronounce that.
Copic? I don't know. Anyway, so I was there, and and I was kind of looking at sketchbooks, and not for any particular reason, because I got plenty, but I'm always looking for the perfect one. And I found this, and this was, I've peeled the sticker off. This was $8. It's got 70 sheets of paper. It's kind of got this weird binding where this is the cover's all one piece, but it's
Hmm.
spiral, which I
Yeah.
thought would annoy me. But
No,
you
no, it
can
opens
fold
nice
it
and flat.
back. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can fold it back and it lays flat, and it's like,
Hmm.
oh, this is cool. And the thing is tight enough. It's not. It's real thin. It's real lightweight. The paper's decent, but it takes darker pencil really good. I've been drawing. I don't know if you can see this. I've been drawing a bunch of
Yeah,
superheroes.
those were very good. Those really struck me the other day when you posted them. I said to myself, you're putting the figure together in a much more measured and controlled way that is wasn't present in a lot of your earlier stuff.
Well, I'll tell you. I After I finished Heaven's Rejects in 2020,
Yeah, that was a
the,
big drill
it,
for you. Yeah.
I there was a year while I waited for the stupid thing to get colored,
Hmm.
and I couldn't, and it was like, what are we gonna do? Nobody knew, so I drew and drew and drew and drew, and I filled several sketchbooks with figures, and stuff started to really click. Not really. What happened is I got to where I feel like, and I'm not, don't get me wrong, it's not like I don't knock out a clunker, but it's like I got to get a feel for the proportions of everything, and
Hmm.
without like measuring it, but more like this is what I want to look like. I drew a lot of like superhero stuff, and so it really helped. I mean, my art is better now. I mean, it was better after that. It's better now, anyway, but
Hmm.
so
No, no.
so I bought this sketchbook, and I've been using a Blackwing in it.
Mm-hmm.
which I like. I got a box of Black Wings,
Oh, those
and
are great pencils.
well, and what's crazy, Ellis, is not long ago I was looking at it's a sharpener by the pencil company. I believe it's pronounced Cum, Cum,
Mm-hmm.
and they make sharpeners, but they make one they call the masterpiece, and it's two stage. It does the wood and then the lead, and it's supposed to be like this fabulous pencil. And I kind of wanted one, and I was at a place in New York, and I tried one out. I thought, boy, it makes really narrow. It's super fine point and
Mm-hmm.
long, and I'm kind of getting to where I enjoy using more of a dull point.
Sure, sure. No, yeah, that's a good idea to unleash the painter in you, because when you're using a dull point and going for a big mark, that gets you into shape mode.
Well, so I realized that and this is something I've been practicing the last couple of months is what I've been doing is sharpening my pencils with a knife. I realized the
Yeah.
best sharpener you can get, because this pencil sharpener is like $35,
Uh-huh.
and well, actually it's 25. They were 20 when I looked at them, but now they're like 35, and it's like, you know what? I got a pocket knife. I'll just
Right.
sharpen it with a pocket knife, and I
Yeah.
get kind of a. You probably can't see it. I don't think my phone will let you see it, but I get kind of a dull,
Mm-hmm.
long tapered. But I don't do it smooth, rounded. I do it kind of blocky,
Yeah.
where it's kind of got a
Yeah.
block.
Make all the sharpening you do rubbing it on the paper. Yeah.
Well, and see, that's what's cool is what I've realized is it doesn't get near as dull, and if I need a real sharp, I'll just kind of turn it to where there's a sharp spot, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So so
Right.
anyway, so
I've
that
uh,
anyway,
I, I've flashed Nasser, who visits us for the sake of promotion here, on Creepsters 2. Yeah, that's Creepsters came out very well. He hooked up with a very talented artist that did him right in terms of like did some fine art for him. He came up with a kind of a critters kind of a story that pretty fun,
cool.
as a little comic book, especially as your self. I always draw a blank on the word right when I need it.
Self-published,
Yeah,
self-published.
not self-published, but the crowd fund. Yeah, there we go. I don't know what there
Crowdfunding.
is
Yeah,
about that wordage that gets to me. So he crowd
anyway,
funds things. Yeah. Anyway,
so
go ahead.
so I bought this sketchbook. I've had it for, I don't know, a week or two, and I've been busy doing a bunch of other stuff. But I liked it so much that like the next Friday I went back, because they're not open on Saturdays. Next Friday I went back and bought another one, because I looked online and they're kind of expensive. It's a whole bean is the manufacturer, but I'm kind of tearing it up in my bag because the corners are getting. But I've decided I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah.
Whole
No.
bean,
That
yeah.
looks cool.
But it's
That's,
made in Japan.
when you tear them up.
Do what?
I say that looks cool. That's called weathering and
Weathering, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, people pay
So
big money to
that's
weather
right.
their clothes. And Barry told us those guys that buy those expensive leather bags those ball
Sure.
staff bags would drag them behind a car, and boy,
Sure. Yeah. Got to get them look like they're.
look like you're an archaeologist adventuring in the tombs
Yeah. Exactly. That's
or
exactly what
whatever.
you need. You gotta look like you're Indiana Jones with whatever you got with your
Yeah,
leather.
you're certainly not gonna wear it out taking it to the gym with you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you did not see Godzilla.
Did not.
And then last night you said I'm gonna go see it's last. It was the
Well,
last day, wasn't it?
it's
Or is
one of
that
those
not
things
accurate?
where, yeah, it's one of those things where you think I got to see that in the theater, right?
Yeah,
But
until
then,
you actually went
then
like,
you think
oh
about
no,
it, and you say, wait a second, look at there, look what else is just now available for rent and streaming. It's that thing, the latest Scorsese thing, the Killers of Flower Moon, And it's like, I only have to wait 2 days to see
Yeah.
Godzilla streaming. Okay. Man, they're already, and they're just terribly excited, I think, about whatever deal they're about to make because they know they're just going to be rolling in it with whoever, because, their box office indicates, hey, people want to see this, and your streamers are going to be out there for this.
Yeah, this will bring in the bucks.
Yeah. So they won't let that money making moment pass for long. So I'm not all that, I'm not all that worried about seeing it. Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead.
Well, Barry made me excited to see it about the time that he announced it was leaving. Of course, I'm supposed to go to his house this weekend. Some point he said, you got to come by. So who knows? He may slip me a copy of it.
Oh.
He didn't say
You didn't say that. Okay, go ahead.
I didn't say that. Yeah, I mean, what I mean by that is a copy of the newspaper ad to where I can go
there
see
we
it.
go.
That's what I meant.
So you can lick your chops thinking about how fine it's going to be to see that in the theater.
It would be if I could watch it on my computer.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Of course not, but that does mean that there's a kind of a legitimate way to stream it at this point if you're willing to cough up some bucks, right? Some sort of Apple Plus way to see it.
No, I don't think there is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're saying if hypothetically Barry had a copy?
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think Barry's sources were all legitimate.
Yeah.
He gave me something that was like straight. It was in the theater, and what he gave me was not a camcorder in the movie theater kind of copy. I forget what movie it was, but there was something he gave me, and I was like, "Oh, I really want to go see this."
Fine copy. I like the resolution on that.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, well, when you get it all. No, I'm kidding. We're all kidding here.
We would never
Alphabet
movies.
We would never do anything to your profit. Margin.
No,
if you happen to have money in Godzilla, we're a kid. Yeah.
Well, if they put the Blu-ray out before Christmas, which I don't think they will, but if they did, I'd probably buy it.
Oh yeah, I mean, it is one of those things. It's like, I got to have this. I still buy extras.
Physical media. In fact, I broke my PlayStation 3. Well, I say a picture on the wall fell behind the TV, and it caught the wire of my the HDMI cable of my PlayStation 3, which I use primarily for DVDs and Blu-rays, and it did something to it, so it was not working. I don't know if it messed up the port. It may have messed up the port. There's some stuff I can try, but so I brought the Blu-ray player downstairs from my office because I never watched it up here. I had trouble getting it to work up here, but it works fine downstairs. And so I was watching some manga, anime. Sorry, wrong. I was watching My Hero Academia. If Dan is on here, he's a fan. And the Blu-ray of season 1 I have last night. And I was thinking, guys, it's so easy because of the PlayStation. You've got to scroll through menus, hit the movie. It's like, oh man. But man, with the DVD player, you just put it in and turn it on, turn it off. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to replace that PlayStation 3. I think I'm just going to watch movies on the DVD player or Blu-ray. Anyway.
Well, I watched, for entertainment's sake, I watched a really nice walkthrough. Oh, now I can't think of the name of the game, but it was this fun little game of a vertical ascent. This guy climbs basically an endless mountain. It had a really good set of, what word do you say to talk about everything it does? It's a tool set or whatever that is part of what it uses, as
the climbing.
Yeah, just the climbing mechanism or whatever was just so beautifully thought out. How it works. He basically has a rappelling system where he attaches himself for safety's sake, and it also is kind of like a grappling hook, so he gets around that way. But even though this walkthrough made it look simple, I bet you the guy that was doing the walkthrough took a while to get that skill, because I could see falling a lot in that game. But it had really cool vertigo, and what it had was just this great style. It was a nice, simple, under rendered, beautiful color palette kind of thing that was really, really good. Just groove on. Watch this guy explore as he played it, and the level design was really good.
What's funny is I'm not a video game player by any means, but I had the PlayStation 3, and occasionally I like to sit down and play like Grand Theft Auto and just run around and shoot people and
explore.
Just be, explore. But I found I get almost as much pleasure out of just watching somebody else play it.
Oh yeah.
So, the having a YouTube channel that I can watch is just about as entertaining, honestly, as playing the game. For me,
that's how millions have been made.
Me queasy, But I watched a guy play through Red Dead Redemption 2, and I enjoyed it as much as I would have played in it. But I was able to do other things while I was watching it, So.
It's amazing that kind of breaks the idea that we're told that the only thing that'll hook you is the mechanics of storytelling. You gotta tempt somebody. You have to have a hero that you have empathy for and all that, and then that brings you in. But there is also this thing of just really passive watching of something just occurring. And it's amazing how much I can watch of that stuff. Watching CC footage of stuff is kind of like that. There's not a story there. It's just events.
Are you familiar with the game Shenmue?
I'm not sure. No, I guess not.
Dreamcast, it was invented or created by the guy that created Virtua Fighter.
Oh, I remember that game. Yeah.
It's basically it's about a kid whose dad is killed. His dad's like a martial artist teacher or instructor, I guess, a sensei. He gets killed, and the kid has to kind of go around and collect clues, and he's in this Japanese town, and it has weather, and it has like a lot of interactions, and it has a lot of stuff you can do, and it's just this and I think it appealed to some people because it was just an exploration. And to me, that's what I think is cool about video games. Just the idea that you can explore and you can wander around in places that you wouldn't normally be able to.
Yeah. I saw another one that claimed, I don't know if they just knew how they were using the word or not, but they claimed it was procedurally building the neighborhoods you were in. It was basically the night the aliens came kind of thing, where you're just driving around in suburbia, but really cool, weird stuff is going on in the skies and stuff like that you're, some weird radiances that you're driving by.
Really? I wonder what's the name of the game? Do you remember?
No, doggone it. And I wonder sometimes, these games that I'm exposed to is, what percentage of everybody is exposed to it. When you click on gaming on YouTube, it's like I might be the only one that's getting that particular focus. But if I can find it, I'll send it to you, because it was cool. It's one of those things where it's like, now, are they really reinventing that neighborhood as I drive through it?
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Well, you think that?
I don't know. I was being sarcastic.
Okay, because that's pretty tricky to Grand Theft Auto, that's what makes those things so doggone impressive is someone did all that level design. Someone built the city of Detroit or whatever you're driving through. It's there. It's a 3D model.
Yeah. I like the Grand Theft Auto games. I don't really care for the gameplay, but I like the free roaming ability that you have, and that to me that's cool, and the exploration.
I guess the game has managed to make itself. I mean, it's always controversial when it comes out, but I guess it's newly controversial because it's got a new version out.
Oh yeah, Well, I don't know if it's out or it's getting ready to come out. What's funny is I had the opportunity to buy a PS5 from a coworker the other day who's looking to sell it, and and it was about the time that mine broke. Ultimately, the reason why I didn't is because I was like, if I want another game system, I'm gonna get a 3 because I got games for it. I got games I like, and it's like, well, I mean, there are games I don't know. Occasionally, I'll go, I'll be at Walmart. I go, I'm gonna buy me one of these game systems. It's just like, I got other crap to do. I don't need that kind of time sink sitting in my living room. I'd never get my money out of it. It's I don't know. I've wasted
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't regret hanging out in arcades when I was a kid, but I've wasted too much time. Playing.
I used to try to give myself a stroke playing Robotron. I tell you.
Oh God, I love that game. That's probably the game I'm the best at of anything, and I don't know what. I don't know how. I must have good twitch reflexes.
Yeah,
I've done pretty good at that game.
You can't beat Robotron for that sort of experience of feeling like you're part of the machine. It's like because you do so many hair-raising split-second decisions that it's pretty amazing.
It is. Yeah, it's one of my favorite video games for sure. I like Berserk. I always thought Berserk was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, kind of a fun
Robotron,
thing how crowded you felt, even though how slow the gameplay was, but it managed to always zap you in spite of how slow it was. Yeah, it'd corner you in some way.
It's unrelenting.
Yeah.
They just keep on coming, or it keeps on coming. Auto.
I've got a really bad thing on my channel where I read Patricia Highsmith's Snails, and I read it out loud because I was so tickled. I got it on eBay. I got the Saturday Evening Post that I had read as a kid back in 1961 or whenever it came out. Yeah. And I read it on a farm where I was just being basically dumped to give the parents a break while they all had a semi-life doing stuff like go to college and stuff like that. So we were dumped there, for a month or so.
Gosh.
I mean, we were really dumped off on them. And the grandparents were happy to.
Oh, I was going to say, were they relatives? This is in Arkansas.
Yeah, they were. Arkansas. I was in Little Texas during this time, and she got the Saturday Evening Post, and I read that story, and it was like, the oasis of entertainment that arrived, and it's like, ooh, wow. That just made it that much more special that something really cool had dropped on me. But that's the story there. The snails are no hazard. This guy is just dead set on finding, and Highsmith was famous, notorious, or whatever for being someone that was into snails for whatever reason.
Really,
she actually bizarre. She had terrariums and stuff like that. She's really into them, and so this guy wanted to find a species he could name after himself, whatever. This was his ambition. And he, for whatever reason, he finds this lead that there's this giant snail on this island. And when he's thinking giant, he's thinking something as big as a chihuahua or whatever. But he gets there, and heck, the things are big glomping kaiju, you know.
Oh,
and
yeah.
But they're very slow. He's never at any point worried about them. But then he realizes he's stuck in that relentless situation. Once they've zeroed in on him, they're not giving up. They're always going to be, the 10 steps behind him, the 30 steps behind him, whatever, but they're behind him. And it wears him down. He loses his boat, of course. And anyway, but it's a cool story. I read it aloud and didn't do all that great a job on it on my channel. By the way, the channel is up to 500, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's pretty good numbers, right, for someone that's not
really to build up numbers.
Yeah, not really chunking out the entertainment that would say, "Hey, come by and check it out."
It's funny you talk about being stuck on a farm, because I was stuck on a farm one summer. I think it was 82. I think I could figure it out exactly, because when we were up there when the Penn Square Bank failed, which was the precursor to the oil bust in the 80s. Mm-hmm. I think it was 82, it may have been 83. Anyway, we were in the summer. It was in the summer. And my grandmother, who had been widowed for most of my life, had married a man that lived in Michigan, and they spent time up here and time down there, or time up there and time down here. He had a farm, and so one summer we went up to his farm. I think we were there for 2 weeks, and oh God, we hated it. I'm not a farm person. I mean, if I wanted to be, I could.
If there's nothing to do, you'll.
However,
and then you don't want them to put you to work either, because I've had that work before too.
It's like,
that hay baling is hard work.
It's like me at work. You guys are bored and causing trouble? I got something for you to do.
Yeah.
No. I'll tell you what I bought when I was up there. It was in 82 or 83. We went to town a couple times, and I bought the first and second issue of the first Wolverine miniseries by Claremont and Miller. And then I also bought I bought a magazine that was the guide to Blade Runner or something like that, and it had a bunch of Sid Mead illustrations in it. I remember seeing those, just being blown away at how cool he was.
Yeah, that Sid Mead style that comes straight from that particular university arts center, I guess all they call it. In California. It's all about like, hey, learn how to do concept cars. And that'll be part of your curriculum. Is you have to present your what?
There's a guy at my work who went to the school in San Francisco that teaches that now. I don't know where. I think Sid Mead went to L.A., but this guy went to a school in San Francisco, and he originally wanted to. That's what he wanted to do, was like design cars, and we've talked about that a lot, about the stuff they taught him, and a lot of what they taught him was that almost like isometrical perspective kind of thing.
Yeah, I wanted to do an essay myself on what kind of perspective is the smart perspective, and the smart perspective to use is nearly isometric, and if you want to know that smart people are using it, it's Moebius never ventured away from it, and Kirby used it mostly, so that's it.
Well,
it's like how your eye sees, really. Is why they never ventured away.
Concept design stuff, it's not a matter. It's just a matter of chunking out a bunch of shapes.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that I'm making it a lot simpler, but
chunking out shapes is complicated once you get close to it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, I'm not minimizing that. I'm just saying that what they taught them to do, because they taught them to draw a lot of like real fast parallel lines.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they would do. He told me that they would do like 100 lines a day in ink. You know, you'd go across the page and then across the page and then diagonal.
Okay, yeah. They wanted
how
to.
it looked.
Their render power. They were amping up their render power, huh?
Well, they were amping up their ability to sit there and draw like a, oh, we'll do this.
Like a robot. Yeah.
Yeah, and he said that when he got into it, that didn't appeal to him.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's kind of drawn like that on like the toaster. It's a car, and I think he's more of a hands-on kind of guy, knowing him now. But he wanted to go into car design. I forget what. There was something he told me that they told him in school that he realized he would never be successful at it. I forget what it was. It was something like 90% of the job was like kissing up to people or something like that.
Well, it's like you may want to devote full time to fine art, and then you realize the only thing to do with that once you've decided to devote all that time and going to shows, that's the exact same thing. It becomes political at that point. You have to, if you want to have your work thought well of, you have to go to other people's shows. And that's another thing you're stuck with. It's like, I got to be political now. I got to make the rounds.
We know several. Michelle and I, Michelle has bought several pieces of original art from. Michelle's roommate in college ended up being a painter,
mm-hmm.
and she's really good. And then I know several people that are what you call fine artists, and
mm-hmm.
and that's what they've told me is like, oh yeah, I go to parties of some sort, openings or something.
Yeah.
A couple times a week, and it just sounds like it's like I don't want to do that. I just want to make art.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. That's what they got to do. That's where you get, you go to somebody's show and they'll go to your,
Yeah, if you want to be somebody that is stuck in galleries on a regular basis, you got to. But even there, the drawback is they have this one guy I like, is Jeremy Mann, who does big old cityscapes. He actually uses a what do you call a roller brush on his art. He'll load up
I think I've seen that guy on Instagram. He does like huge cityscapes.
Yeah, but the deal is he can also do really great figure work, but he does his cityscapes mostly. But then it's like, okay, hey, I'm glad you got all this enthusiasm for my work. You betcha. Let's sell some of it. He sent off a whole bunch of his canvases, and basically a guy just stole them. And it's like, oh well, there's that too.
Well, there's 6 years of my life.
Yeah. It's like, would it be nice to know you could have, trust somebody that had incorporated, gone into business, and apparently just to steal your artwork. Yeah.
That'd suck.
This guy's,
well,
I got one little part of this drawing. It's like, I don't want to show people I can draw that bad. And it's just one little part where the space on a guy's leg kind of got really wonky, but who cares? I've been, oh man, I sure wish I had could find a couple of better horse skeletons and stuff like that didn't cost an arm and a leg. Oh yeah, I ought to bring that in here. You want me to take a break and come back in about a half a minute? I'll go get that and show it off.
Bring it. I don't know if anyone's watching this. I know Nasser was a second ago. Ellis had. I can't check the messages. I don't know if Dan's here or not. But if you're here, thank you for sticking with us. We've had some technical difficulties lately, which I think that we're all.
Okay, I'm back.
I was just explaining how our technical difficulties were all your fault.
Oh, well, I blame you. You know that. Because that's all I've got to go on. Damn it! I sent it 30 minutes ago. What's your problem? You know, that's all. That's all I can go by.
There you go. Whatever. I had a phone conversation with a guy at work the other day, and he got kind of belligerent with me. And at my work, I'll say rank is very important. You know, they pay a lot of attention to that.
Uh-huh.
And I outranked this guy severely, and he got a little belligerent with me. He'd call me, ask me how to do something, how he should write up a particular order, and I told him. He said, "Well, I don't want to do it that way." I said, "Well, you're going to make more work for me." If he told me how he wanted to do it, I said, "Well, it makes a lot more work for me." And I said,
"I've been showing off my horse skeleton here."
Oh yeah, and he said, "Well, the way you're wanting me to do is going to make a lot of work for me, cowboy." And I called him my name, and I said, "It's always a joy," and I hung up on him.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's the deal. These pipeline situations, you're in it. You're in the midst of it. Not much you can do about whether or not. Go
I had 2 artists out sick the day that he did this. And the thing he needed, I said, "Well, my artists are gone, but I can do it for you if you'll do this." And he didn't want to do it the way I wanted to do it. So it's like, well, then you can wait till they come back. You know, and I mean, he has no recourse. He can't make me. He can't. You know, he was just being impatient because there was plenty of time on the order. I mean, I'd never make a customer suffer just because he's a dillweed.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, it was just something he wanted to do right then, as what he wanted to be up to.
He's very impatient about. Well, I need this. It's like, well, the date on the order is for next Thursday. Why do you need it? Why do I need to go through hoops to help you and rearrange? You know, because it's not that I don't want to help him. It's that by helping him, there are other people I can't help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are people that waited their turn patiently. Unlike this guy. Anyway, I'm not the only one that complains about him. So then when people came back the next day, he was like, "When can I get this today?" And I said, "We'll do our best."
Mm-hmm.
That's my stock answer. And I think he got everything. I mean, I tell my people, we can be mad at somebody, but we can't make their work late.
No.
So when I was a kid, Ellis, I had this obsession. Oh, let's talk about your horse skeleton. Where'd you get that?
Oh, I got it. Where did I get that? I got it from ultimately Amazon. No, I didn't either. I got it from some place that you have to type in horse skeleton, and this is one of your very few. But actually, it's a role-playing game thing. Obviously, this is meant to be a zombie. Yeah, I expected it to be pewter, but it's not even that heavy duty. It's still plastic. But it's obviously the sort of thing that becomes a pewter mold. It's obviously meant to be that sort of thing.
Well, what they've done to save money is a lot of these role-playing game figures, they've converted them to plastic.
Okay.
But on mine, because when I was playing Dungeons and Dragons regularly, I would buy figures for my characters, and I always bought metal ones because to me that's what they should be. But it was just my character, so I was only buying one. You know, it wasn't like I was buying a bunch of them.
I tell you one thing that I'm really had my eyes open, and I feel like I've known it and forgot it a dozen times or something like that. But up here, this first upper bone, it is exactly what you would expect it to be, but you don't relate to it as the bone that is pulled up by bicep and tricep, because it's completely hidden. And even horse experts and everything call it the shoulder. And even though the entire process of everything that the bicep does to this next bone just as it would doing curls. And that's its main thing. The main thing is you got this big bundle of tricep that, of course, is the big muscle that drives that foot back down. The bicep doesn't have to do much work to lift the whole leg, but it wants to, when it's doing its running, it wants to drive that foot back down. So, and carry weight and all that kind of stuff. We actually had no ambition to carry weight. We kind of imposed that on it.
Yeah.
Had no great designs on being a pack animal, but we decided it would be.
It worked out pretty good for everybody.
Yeah. But no. That knowing that all that process, and the same thing for that back top bone there, it's all hidden under muscle mass and skin, going over things that if you're trying to be, what do you call it when you comparative anatomy? If you're trying to use comparative anatomy to give you something, knowledge of how a horse works, a lot of it is nullified by the fact that all that stuff is hidden. You're wanting to see what you're trying to make happen, and so that and I know I was confusing myself. I was like, wait a minute, all that front leg does, it lifts in an unnatural way. If that was, considered the your arm, and it's not your arm, it's just lower arm, it's just forearm.
Yeah, horses are all what are they, quadrupeds? All quadrupeds.
Well, yeah, that's the deal though. Even though it is the quadrupeds, some quadrupeds don't do it quite. When you think about predators, it's probably as a prey animal, they probably are kind of alike. All the prey animals may be kind of alike, but the predators, of course, they have very easy to see comparative anatomy. They have a big shoulder mass and kind of a stumpy upper arm, but it's there. You can see all of its muscles. Rosetta was always good at showing them off.
Rosetta was good at showing everything off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, I've almost finished. I forget why I quit reading it, but I was about 2/3 of the way through that Hoffman on comics. He's got a lot of good. He's got a lot of little good notes. Maybe I'll open that PDF up and share that while we talk, if I can find it. Share some of it, just as a way to. All of it. Yeah, just as a way to.
The wrath of the Hoffman.
Even though you see these people saying, "Hey, I'm going to open my book up and share every page of it for you." That's a lot of YouTube content.
I don't know if he would agree with that, though.
Yeah, no. I don't know. That might be the best promotion you could have, is have a lot of it. Says, I want that for reference. You don't want to open my YouTube channel for your reference.
Yeah. He's a really good artist. I like his work. And he gets, I think people give him grief because they're like, "Oh, he's just copying Frazetta," but it's like, well, then you do it if it's so easy. Mm-hmm.
I'll share one of this. Do the thing. I'll show you what page I'm on. But he's got a lot of little essays to present. He's done a lot of thinking. It's not a sloppy money grab book.
If you say so.
Well, some of these books are. It just depends on.
There's so many art books out now that are just like, hey, here's how you draw whatever, and it's just it's like, oh my.
Well, that's the deal. He may find this so easy that Oops, that's not what I wanted to share. Let's try that over again. Oh, did I kick you out, Scott? Oh my God. Wait a moment. Scott, I kicked you out. Did I? Or did you have something happen to you? Uh-oh. Oh, did I click stop stream? Stop screen? I must have. Oh my God. I must have. Oh, there you are. Hey, Scott, if I kicked you out, I'm sorry.
I don't know what happened. I'm gonna blame you though.
I think for once you're right. I think I'm at fault on that one.
For once, I'm right. What a crock.
Well,
it's a burden that I bear to be right all the time.
Yep.
Don't forget it.
Oh, there it is. Okay, see, I'm on this. He's got a very nice little PDF presentation that I've got sit on scroll, I think still. Yeah. And superhero overpopulation, like right here, he just wants to write about, he's got some knives. He's got some knives that come out for corporate comics. It's like blah, blah. Anyway, I haven't got that far, but I got all of these.
That's like the beginning, isn't it?
No, that's page 46 of 71. So
okay.
I'm pretty far along in it. So it's a pretty groovy little exposition. Let me go all the way up to the cover again so we can share that.
Go to page 10.
Okay, I will.
That's what I want to see.
Page 10 is iPath. Now that's good. It's good stuff, actually.
Hey, I tell you what, that is the secret sauce to comics that nobody talks about it. They'll talk about storytelling, and nobody knows what it means.
Mm-hmm. No, that is the heart of composition, being able to guide the eye. And with comic books, it's just that much more important. You've got to guide that eye all the way through that story you're telling.
Well, I can't count the number of comics I've opened and looked at. And it's like, what am I supposed to look at here? Mm-hmm. It looks like somebody just threw up on the page.
And see how he's got this thing he did of these clowns where he just shows you if a guy is thinking about it, he can guide the eye from left to right, top to bottom, all the way through your art. And it feels good. You react to that kind of thought and pattern, and little simple lessons like this about how to and it's always smart too if you can find the way to do it. Simplify.
Yeah.
And here's his big essay. This is, if you could say one thing's got him boiling, it's the primacy of the writer versus the artist. He makes a point saying this is comics with writing and images. This is comics with just images. But these words, that's not comics. And, he's perfectly right. You know what? That happened again, Scott. I diminished that PDF and you went away too. What happened? I should be able to just stop a PDF and see if I can get you back again. Sorry. This is a little wacky. Device not connected. Here we go. Hey, Scott, I'm going to quit playing around with presenting things because I apparently cut you off every time I touch something. Okay. Sorry about that.
Hey, I don't take it personal.
It's just something I don't know how to do or something.
Who knows?
Something on my end.
Do you think so? You think I know I was telling you it's your fault, but do you think it is your fault? Maybe.
No, not with sending emails that have got the link in them. I mean, how could I be at fault in that? I sent you unless my versions of Firefox or something like that are just not sending you stuff they ought to send in a timely fashion. I don't know, maybe.
Who knows? It drives me crazy because I would, I'd see you'd be on YouTube and I'd be like, where's my invite?
Yeah.
And I thought maybe it was Wi-Fi, so I turned off Wi-Fi.
No, it was just
No
me
luck,
waiting
man.
for you showing up. And it's like,
no luck. Again, I know it was your fault, so.
Okay.
Just confess.
When you're a guy that was going to experiment and make himself some spam pigs in a blanket with tortillas, see if those came out any good. And you try it out, but then what you forget as a step is turning off the oven for 2 hours.
Oh God!
It's like, yeah, that was worth all that energy I put into keeping that oven 400 degrees for 2 hours. I don't have no telling. My contribution to global warming just went through the roof.
Well, thank you. We'll need that next week.
Yeah.
You've made tomorrow a great day. Tomorrow's supposed to be very nice. Are you going to meet me?
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, I said, yeah, let's do it. Let's walk around on the 69 degrees and something like that, and perfect, beautiful day.
Beautiful. It'll be fun. Meet me at my wife's work. I will be there at around. Let me think. I have to work 3 hours tomorrow. You want to meet me at 10:30?
Sure, 10:30 sounds good.
Does that work? So what did you do today since you didn't go to a movie?
Well, you know what I was going to do? I dedicated myself to the idea of trying to capture this last female cat so I could get her turned in at that welfare agency, because I got my other. I forgot to tell you all this story. I got that cat of mine in that had so many kittens. She was up to 10 on kittens. Jeez. And so I got her turned in finally. And I made a point of telling them
overpopulation.
And I made a point of telling them, I'll come back for this cat. This cat's special to me. Just give me a call. And they said, oh, no problem. We'll call you. So I'm sitting around getting my X, as I call it, where I'm doing my writing and my drawing. And all of a sudden on the windowsill, it's Mama Cat. And it's like, hey, then that's what they usually do, is they just turn them back in the neighborhood they came from. And sure enough, they'd done that. Instead of calling me, they'd basically said, just drop her off. Business as usual is what they did with her instead of calling me.
Which you have a confirmation that that's what they do? I would assume they would have called you.
No, I checked on it and all that, and I just recently brought in this other cat. As it turns out, it was probably good of me to bring it in just because it's probably sick. But it was driving me crazy. It was taking these huge craps in the garage, and even when I set out sand, and I tell you what, of course it drive you crazy is stepping in it. It's like, oh my God, And it's like, so I took that cat in, and I said, fix this cat, see if that changes anything. But he was, he's that one I told you escaped from the zoo. It seemed like he was so much longer than the average cat. Long, big old thing, but he was skin and bones. And shoot, I'd been feeding him for 2 weeks of high fat content of wet food and dry food, and plus he made no bones about being a total pig about it. He'd push everybody else out of the way to eat. And he stayed skin and bones. He just wasn't putting it on. And I thought, well, that's just because he's this mutant that he'd have to eat 10 hours straight to put anything on. But she said he's probably sick. And so that's good that cat that I got nothing against other than crapping up my garage. It may come back in a more healthy mode, and maybe it starts taking a crap more like other cats, a lot more like, hey, I can be discreet about this.
You train these cats to crap in your neighbor's yards. What you
Yeah,
do,
exactly.
Dude.
That's what I
take that.
Well, that's the other thing. This is a kind of a hazardous little neighborhood. Every contiguous neighbor I've got has got, dogs, multiple dogs. So, cats aren't long for the world really around here much. And plus, I told you about my little altercation with the neighbor. I told him, hey, you shoot these effing cats, I will call a cop. Because they had their pellet gun out, and I think were trying to rile me, and they did. They managed to rile me. So I told them, you shoot effing cat, I will call a cop. Told them the cops will come out for animal cruelty as quick as they'll come out for murder.
Yep, probably quicker anymore.
Yeah.
Honestly, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. They know they won't get shot. That's the thing. Let's see. I got
domestic,
that dispute stuff where people get shot. I got.
Or I can go to this animal cruelty thing. And,
I think I'll go to the animal cruelty thing. There's not enough quick responses on these animal cruelties.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, how about you draw tonight, Scott? I drew a couple of things that showed I wasn't too inspired.
I drew a couple characters, not a whole lot. But
yeah,
a little bit.
You ought to do something. You obviously got X-Men as one of your priorities, like I do, Hulks and things and stuff like that, as one of my sweet spot kind of things I get into on a regular basis. You ought to do your own little strip of something like a Cyclops.
Yeah,
he's obviously just one of those cool character designs that.
I like. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big X-Men fan. I mean, let's see. Did I draw any X-Men on the front? No, I guess I didn't really draw any X-Men. I was drawing just characters. I need to, and I don't know if Dan's on, but I need to work with Dan and come up with like a bunch of characters for our Black Cricket universe. I guess I don't know how populated it is. He's got some. There's kind of a rogues gallery, I guess, but I don't know.
Dan, by the way, is not present in the.
He's not
in the comments. No. Nasser showed up and bailed real quick to making his lightning promotion of his.
Buy my book. I'm out of here.
Buy my book. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
We basically got, I guess, spammed by Nasser.
I was going to tell you, a guy at my work works at Office Depot. And I was asking him if Office Depot can cut the spine off a book and put a coil binding on it. And he said they can. He said they charge $5 for that.
I've had it done before. That's what I mainly use Kinko's for. Say, use your power cutter and give me back what I want. Yep.
Well, I think I'm going to do. I got a bunch of essentials that I kind of been looking. They're not worth it. They're not expensive, but I've been looking at them for the art. And I was like,
what? I should add to that though. I regret doing that to everything I did it to. Yeah, I regret doing it to everything I did it to. Oh, okay. You want to hear the ultimate and stupid. Now I've got it in a nice little book, and you could always say, hey, you've got exactly what you wanted, something you can take out a page at a time to study. I cut the little spines off of every one of those. Ballantine, is that who put those Frazetta books out? Those Ballantine books. I had every one of those Ballantine paperbacks, and I had them early, of course, because I was such a nut about Frazetta.
You're talking about the Frazetta ones?
Yeah, the Frazetta ones. And I cut the spines off every one of those and put them in what do you call those, sleeves? Yeah, in sleeves. I've got that book, and I've got a big old fat book of all those. That thing right there. I cut the spine off of it. What an idiot.
Or let's see, I got them all here.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I'm a cautionary tale. Don't cut the spines off of them unless you've got something that you got a duplicate of, or you just want to get that extra utility out of it. You're pretty clear about destroying something. It doesn't destroy it, obviously.
Well,
I've got those books.
At this point, if you have an essential that you can get cheap,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably never going to be valuable.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? There's a couple of them that are kind of expensive, but I think that they've gone up. And like I have an Ant-Man one up there on the shelf
Mm-hmm.
that's all like Jack Kirby and some of the, and that might be. And I just bought it because it has Jack Kirby, and I found it at a show for $5.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, that might be something I would want to do. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't decided. Anyway. Okay, Ellis, we're out of time.
Yeah, we are. It's an hour straight up, and then we'll see you tomorrow. And
I will see you at 10:30.
Yeah, and I can apologize to you personally about not sending you your links properly. Okay. Okay.
No.
Right.
You're going to find out. You're going to send me information about that game that sounded interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send you both those games. Yeah, if I can.
Well,
I'll just dig into my YouTube history and I'll find them.
Wait, you can check out my new car tomorrow too.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I haven't seen it.
Nope.
Dig it.
Anyway. Yeah.
Okay. In stream. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks.